Happy Monday!
Exactly. Hey, it's Curt and Jen and our podcast from across the country.
That's right. You're in Florida. I mean, seriously, across the country.
It is across country, and well, this happens every now and again because for some reason my whole family lives in Florida. I didn't encourage that, but that's just what happened. And now you are there and I am here. And I'll tell you what, it's not very Florida-like weather. It's actually Florida in January, which is still, and I know people are going to say, I mean, what is the temperature? Are you getting down to freezing? I guess you are, right? Down to the
Yeah, when I woke up yesterday, I don't know, when I checked the temperature yesterday morning, it was probably around 8:15 in the morning. It was 27 degrees.
That's pretty cold. It is getting up to the low 70s and high 60s here for the highs. So that's still not paradise, but it's certainly better than freezing. So anyway, that's the deal. Down here seeing my family for the week, and but still doing the podcast with the exception of tomorrow and Wednesday.
I feel like there is a lot going on today. Like, it's Monday, so we're starting a new week for 2025. It's MLK Day, so there's probably many that are off work today. It's
Precisely. And
National DJ Day.
which I'm a little bit disappointed by because I looked up the history of National DJ Day and it's including all DJs. So it's saying, club jocks, radio DJs, party jocks. I guess that includes wedding DJs and stuff like that. So, which to me, those are all sort of different,
Yeah, but Curt, you're like all those things.
I have done all those things, so I'm gonna soak it up. I know it specifies here's turntablists as well, those who scratch and manipulate the sounds.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, so there you go.
Also,
Happy National DJ Day.
It's also the Inauguration Day, so we'll
That's
talk
true.
more about that as well. What do we got
Right.
coming up?
We have, well, besides that we just mentioned, we have the fact that there's Tik Tok stuff to share.
Oh my
of
gosh,
course.
so much drama this weekend.
And star-studded experience that are being auctioned off to raise money for the SoCal to help out with the SoCal fires. This is actually pretty cool. Some things you can bid on that you may never get the opportunity to do again.
Okay. You found this story and I can't wait to hear about it. Exciting news from the world of Peeps. Like, the marshmallow things. Yeah.
Oh, you Peep people. Also the best country singers of all time, which of course is a list that's going to be debatable. I know that. And our question of the day, Jen.
How do you spoil your pet? What are some of the outrageous things you do for your pet or pets? Because many you have several. And then we're going to also have some walking tips, like for the cold weather when you go out and walk your dog. Because with it being 27 degrees out, you probably want to know if that's a little too chilly for your puparamas.
It's getting pretty cold. So we'll get into all of that here on today's big podcast, the big show. So what's the deal here with Blue Monday?
Well, it's the most depressing day of the year. That's really what the deal is. It's known as Blue Monday, which it's typically the third Monday of January, which means it's always linked to MLK Jr. Day, and that's just a coincidence. There's nothing to do with the two. It's been a thing ever since this British psychologist named Dr. Cliff Arnell came up with it like 20 years ago based on a weird formula that's supposed to calculate how sad or depressing any given day is. And today has been designated the worst day of the year because of the bad weather, it being a short day. Enough time has passed since Christmas that you've lost the good feelings, and now
the
all
warm fuzzies are gone from the holidays, I guess.
Let down and dead is what's left.
Your New Year's resolutions might have failed by now. So all these things combining. Also, I like this one. It says maybe your motivation has hit rock bottom. I've still got a ways to go for that.
And people are also realizing that you really are facing another year of entire year of work ahead of you without a summer vacation in sight.
So this very non-scientific evidence is why today is what they call Blue Monday. So I guess enjoy it, right?
I'd say, make the best of it. And if you put any stock into this kind of thing, Dr. Arnold claims that the happiest day of the year is usually mid to late June. But I think that's different in the Pacific Northwest, because I think in the Pacific Northwest it's more like July or August.
You can say it, July 5th. That's when it changes. Isn't that how it always goes?
That's right.
All right, there you go. Happy Blue Monday and everything else. Inauguration stuff?
Yeah, so Trump gets inaugurated today, and I think it's worth mentioning that there's only been one other president to serve separate terms. You did the research on that because I'm like, Curt, do you know who that is? You're like, I'm going to look it up right now.
No, you mean I didn't know off the top of my head that it was Grover Cleveland, who was the 22nd and 24th president? That's because he was such a huge human being. He had to have two presidencies.
Curt, you're
He was a,
shaming right now.
I don't know. I don't know how big he was really. It
Not
was
nice.
Taft that was the big guy. That's how well I know my president. So, yeah, everybody's probably heard by now because it's going to be freezing temperatures in DC. So the ceremony for the inauguration has been moved inside at the Capitol Rotunda.
And it's about 30 minutes later than scheduled, I guess. Originally, I'm not sure about this, but the Chief Justice John Roberts will administer the oath, and Carrie Underwood's going to perform America the Beautiful. There's going to be 20,000 guests that will watch the ceremony on screens at Capital One Arena, which will become the setting for the inauguration parade. And Trump, of course, encouraged people that don't have tickets to watch it on TV or at indoor venues.
Well, so how come they didn't move the entire thing, like the ceremony and the swearing in and all that kind of stuff to Capital One Arena so everybody could see it live?
I would bet if this was a last minute decision to do this is, excuse me, for security reasons.
Okay, that makes sense.
They need a lot of time to secure a bunch of stuff.
So if you want to
that big, and this indoor thing, like normally it happens outdoors. The last time that this inauguration was forced indoors was back when Ronald Reagan took oath in 1985. So there you go, some trivia for you.
Look at you, Smarty.
Even if it's not Fun Facts Friday.
8:30 is when it's going to start Pacific time, 11:30 on the East Coast if you want to watch the happenings today for having our next president sworn in. Yes.
Oh my God. This TikTok thing.
TikTok thing. Okay, yes. It's so much to cover if we go back to the beginning, but you've probably heard that there's TikTok was going to be banned, right? Starting yesterday.
Yeah.
Right. But apparently it's been saved.
Well, here's the thing. I thought it was going to start, the ban was going to start yesterday. This whole thing started back in 2020. And so where we're at today is TikTok and its Chinese parent company needed to find someone to buy it from that was a US company, right? They were suing the US because they're saying that banning it's unconstitutional. Well, the thing is, what was it? The Supreme Court on Friday unanimously, gosh, I cannot say that word, upheld the federal law banning TikTok, with all 9 justices agreeing. So the ban was supposed to go into effect yesterday, but then they shut it down early on Saturday, and then people were really freaking out. There were so many things on Instagram, oh my God, what am I gonna do with my life? Then they
managed somehow to survive because here's what I don't understand. And I don't want to start to turn this into a political thing or a debate, but Donald Trump's the one who started this whole thing by saying, Chinese are spying on us and they're getting information because of TikTok. We need to ban it. And then he's the one who's getting credit now. And this is from the TikTok people. They said they were quoted as saying, "We thank President Trump for allowing our services and our service providers to provide TikTok to over 170 million Americans." So I don't get it. Well, is that a flip-flop?
Well, yes, I would say. But this is only temporary. Trump is using a clause like a grant. He's granting 90 days, an extension before the law will go into effect again. But he wanted TikTok to have time to broadcast his inauguration.
Oh.
And he wants to use this deal to try to protect our national security. So he's just giving them more time, and also so they can broadcast his inauguration.
Well, that makes sense then. That's reasonable. Okay, you can watch it, and TikTok is saved for the next 3 months, right? Okay.
I can't even on that.
Real quick weekend recap. If you watched any football this weekend, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. So we're down to, let me see, who do we have left? We have the 4 teams left now. So we've got the Commanders and the Eagles and the Bills versus the Chiefs. And that's coming up on Sunday for the conference championships for their individual conferences. And then the Super Bowl is February 9th. Do you have any predictions, Jen? Or do you have any, how do you hope it works out? Because I have a clear.
I have one. I
Please.
hope that the Commanders win because they are the ones that have not been to the Super Bowl, I believe, since the 90s.
I'm not sure that the Bills have ever been to the Super Bowl.
They haven't? Are you sure?
No, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I heard that they have, I was asking who's, because that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Let's pull for whoever has not ever been before. And I thought it was the Buffalo Bills.
Okay,
Let me
let's
see.
do
I'm
some
looking it up
research,
now
but
while we're doing this.
this is who I will vote for because I love the underdog and I want someone new to be the champion. I feel like we get the same teams a lot.
We do tend to get the same teams a lot. You're correct about that.
Are you
Buffalo Bills. How many times the Buffalo Bills won the Super Bowl? Since they've made the playoffs 39 times, going 20 and 21. Those playoffs, they have, despite no Super Bowl wins for the Bills.
have they been there? Have they
Yes,
played
they've
in
won a couple of AFL championship victories, it says in 84 and 64 and 1965. Either way,
Oh,
that's a long time.
well, you know what I hope then? I
What's
hope
that? What do
it's
you
the
hope?
Commanders versus the Bills.
And then who gets to win?
I mean, if the Bills truly haven't been in the longest, been to the Super Bowl the longest time, then
That's who
I
Jen's
vote
pulling
for
for.
them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I agree. Let's go with that. In other weekend news,
Yeah. What's
I
the
flew to
deal?
Florida.
Yeah, but what are you doing there? What have you done? Anything exciting?
Well, mostly it's just to see my family, and hang out and spend time with my dad, who is been recovering in a. I keep saying rehab, and I think people think it's for alcohol, but no, it's a physical therapy facility, and so down here to sort of help out with that, and actually we are, as you mentioned before, we didn't mention it, but we're taking a couple of days, my wife and I, to explore Southern Florida, places we haven't been before. She actually heard about a restaurant in Everglades City, which is, I guess, an hour or so from here. We're in Naples. It's it might be it's a seafood place in Everglades City, and so we're going to drive there for lunch. That's all that I know. See, I'm being a dutiful husband, and it's okay, whatever.
But you
We'll go
don't
there.
know that, but you don't know the name of it. I mean, like, is it supposed to be like so good? Is it like this
Well,
famous restaurant? Like, tell me more.
here's the breakdown. She heard from a coworker whose parents live in Everglades City that this is a great place to go.
Okay. That's
So
hey,
there is some reason to head that way. So we will see. Plus, we also maybe we'll get to play with some alligators. You never know.
wait, and tell me, I love games, Curt. I love playing games.
Oh yeah, we
Tell me.
I don't know how new these games are, but they're new to us. We played two games last night with my sister and brother-in-law. One is called the Logo game. Have you seen that one?
No.
It's
Is
basically how it sounds. They give you like logos, and you have to say, "Oh, what's this logo for?" and what year did that come out? So that was fun. And
yeah.
then another one called Eat It, like the Weird Al song, Eat It. And that's basically trivia about snacks and chocolate and ice
How'd you
cream.
do?
And I won that one. We played that game twice, the Eat It game, and I won both of those games.
So you go to trivia at Sean O'Donnell's on Tuesday and you can't seem to get number one.
And we
But if they're
stink up the
asking you,
place.
but if they're asking you questions about chocolate and candy and snacks, you're gonna ace the test.
I think it was just luck, but you can read into that what you will. What about
Well,
you? What do you have for the weekend?
I
Because you
too
also did games.
I did do a game night. We played a new one and I cannot remember what it's called. We were with the Middleton, so our friends Glenn and Lori and their son Drew, and then Macy came with me and Pat, and it was super fun. We played Blank Slate, which is a fun one. You should get that one and
Hmm.
play with the family. We dabbled with I think it's called Hues and Cues. That's a fun one. And then we
Okay.
played this one that Drew had that Macy really liked, but Pat and I were like, we don't understand it. You had to like close your eyes and you if you were the werewolf, like there's different things that you have to do. It's like this kind of role play game a little bit. I mean, it was fun, but we just weren't used to it. So we're like, we don't even know what we're supposed to say here. But anyway, but more exciting on yesterday was Riley, my oldest daughter's 21st birthday. So we went
Happy
out and
birthday, Rye.
I know she went out and did. I took her and did all her birthday freebies. We did a birthday freebies haul. So we went to like Dutch Bros, we went to Starbucks, we went to this biscuit place that she wanted to try or she's
Hmm.
had before. Um, she went to Half Price Books because she loves to read. And we walk out with this pile of books. She's like, wouldn't it be so funny if I actually got 21 books on my 21st birthday? And I'm like, let me count. What did it 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. She picked up
Right on the
21 books without
nose.
even know. Yeah, it was fun. And then we took her to Crowbar, our favorite bar in Bothell, and Cameron was so awesome and made her first official, 21 drink and
What was
had a
it
little
called, by the
cake for
way? Was it
her.
a, did he make a special drink for her? But what was her official first 21-year-old drink called?
His version of the French 75.
Okay.
It was really good. It was good. Yeah, it was fun time. Well, I mean, and that was the first time that I had hung out with my
Hmm.
ex-husband Dwayne. I mean, we'd never hung out. So he brought his longtime girlfriend Stacy, Pat was with me, and then our best friends and Dwayne and I both know our friends Sharon John. We hung out all the time. We were attached at the hip when we were both the couples were first married. So it was you know what? It was I had a little anxiety about it, but it was so fun.
Good.
And it was
No
good for
drama.
Riley too, that she could have mom and dad there. So, doing this first.
Zero drama.
Zero drama.
Perfect. Love it. Lots of people coming together to help out with the victims in the Southern California fires. You've heard about donations are coming in from all over the world, which is fantastic. People wanting to help out. But there is a fund, and they are having an auction to raise money to, again, help out with the relief efforts and help the people affected by the fires. And several of these things are star-studded experiences that you'll never get the chance to maybe do again. For instance, if you want to, I don't know, have lunch with Julia Roberts,
Okay,
she's
I like
auctioning that
that.
off. The lunch with Julia Roberts. You can go and visit the set of Only Murders in the Building. Maybe Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez will be there. You never know. You know what Julia had to say about her offering of lunch? She's like, I want to do my part to help amplify the mission and rally support for the families who need it most. Julia said, to do that, I'm inviting you and a guest to join me for lunch. That just seems so, hey, Julia's inviting you and a guest for lunch, you guys.
That's pretty
So
cool.
what's promised here is great food and conversation. It'll be a chance to spend some quality time together, right?
Yep.
If that's not good enough for you, there's other things real quick. Two tickets to Broadway premiere of Good Night and Good Luck with a meet and greet with George Clooney.
Okay.
You like him. A meet and greet with Scarlett Johansson at the Jurassic World Rebirth premiere. You can visit the set of Sugar and meet Colin Farrell while you're there. Like it?
Yeah. So wait, how can we participate in this? I don't have any US dollars to do it, but if someone does and really wants a specific item, what do you
It
do?
is the SoCal Fire Fund. This is launched by the CAA. You probably heard about CAA in Hollywood, the Creative Artists Agency, along with CORE, which is a community organized relief effort, and a few other organizations, including Sean Penn's aid organization as well. And I think you go to SoCal, if you Google SoCal Fire Fund, you'll be able to find out where you need to go.
Okay, and then I was
And
going to ask you, I forgot when Fire Aid was going to be that big, huge mega concert that's happening. Well, it's on the 30th of January, and I just heard that No Doubt is reuniting for the Fire Aid concert.
that is true. That's a biggie too. Not just somebody, you're like, oh, there's gonna be a lot of great artists here. How about No Doubt reuniting for that? Again, yeah, you said end of the month. And also the weekend, on a side note, a weekend has said, hey, I'm going to donate $1 million to the relief effort,
That's pretty
which
awesome.
is lots of people coming together to help out with that. And again, if you want to know more about the fundraiser, SoCal Fire Fund, which is what you want to look at to see if maybe you're going to go have lunch with Julia Roberts or hang out with George Clooney. Who knows?
The photos from that fire, I mean, I still can't believe them when I see them.
Yeah, they
All
still
right.
need a lot of help.
Well, it's Business Insider said that 85% of Americans eat at McDonald's at least once a year.
How is that not 100% of Americans? I guess you have to include vegans or something,
I mean, I
because
feel like it's un-American if you don't eat there at least once a year.
again, that's 85% of Americans say that they eat at McDonald's at least once a year. That to me is a little bit shocking that it's only 85%, but please, I digress.
Okay, so is there anything healthy to eat there when you go eat? Well, nutritionists did a big survey on their menu and said, okay, if you're going to go and you want to
Right?
try to eat healthy, here's the healthiest things on the menu that you can order. The first one, apple slices.
I don't know anybody that goes to McDonald's specifically for the apple slices, but if you want to just have 15 calories and 4 grams of carbs, that's
Gee.
what you do.
Okay, there's the Egg McMuffin, which has 310 calories, but it has a lot of protein in it, 17 grams of protein.
Hmm.
McCrispy, which is the
Is
fried
that now, is
chicken.
that something that we have here? Is that just the chicken sandwich? Because it says the McCrispy, that it says fried chicken is not ideal, but it only has 470 calories and it comes with 26 grams of protein.
That's the thing. It has a lot of protein in it. I think it's just the crispy chicken sandwich. I'm pretty sure they have, yeah, we have it here. I haven't eaten McDonald's in a while.
Uh-huh.
The hamburger, it has healthier nutritional makeup compared to their other burgers.
Just a plain old hamburger.
The Cafe Americano, that's just basically, it's just a caffeine fix that has 0 grams of sugar in it. And then finally, the vanilla cone, it actually has 5 grams of protein in it and is 15% of your daily calcium. Boom.
All right. And I do love the self-serve. The soft serve. I got to say that. That's every now and again just a craving of mine.
Except for I usually put hot fudge or caramel on mine, so that kind of ruins it. Or I mean, not for me, it doesn't ruin it.
I was going to say, use the word ruin loosely. That's what makes it perfect. All right, Peeps. And now I've got your attention. Here's something from Peeps, right?
Yeah, tell me.
I did not know that they had this many flavors, but if there's not enough Peeps flavors already, I've seen the yellow ones and I've seen the pink ones and I've seen the white ones.
Okay, well, hold on a second. The pink and blue and yellow are just, they're not flavored, they're just regular old Peeps.
Okay, well then, this is exciting news then. Get ready for this. The marshmallow treat. Peeps announced a fun spin on a classic sweet combo. They are going to have cookies and cream flavored Peeps Chicks in time for Easter this year.
Oh my God.
Cookies and cream.
They collabed with Breyers to do this?
Mm-hmm. They were inspired by Breyers cookies and cream ice cream, and now there's going to be cookies and cream Peeps. But if that's not enough for you, it says Peeps Cookies and Cream is just one of several flavors revealed this week. Peeps also comes in cotton candy flavored, Dr. Pepper, fruit punch, blue raspberry, party cake, Rice Krispies treats, sour watermelon, chocolate pudding, cinnamon, churro, and tropical punch flavors.
Something for everyone.
Or nothing for anyone. I don't know. None of those jumped out at me as like, oh, this is awesome. I've got to have this. So
I might eat like 2 Peeps a year and that's it. That's all I need.
Let me guess, they're like in April, maybe March, late March, early April.
Around Easter. Yes, Curt.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. If you are a country fan, this is going to be interesting to hear. Side note, Dolly Parton celebrated her 79th birthday yesterday, surrounded by loved ones. She looks fantastic for 79.
True. And she did make this list that we have here.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like, oh my God, what? Dolly Parton only made number 17 of the best country singers of all time.
And that's what I wondered what their criteria was, because, I mean, country singers in general, this is not a knock. There's plenty of great country artists and great country songs, but in general, some of the classic country singers, especially the dudes, were not actually that great of singers. You know what I mean? They weren't from a singing standpoint. They were just, I'm sorry, you can't sit there and say Merle Haggard is a great singer, by singing
here's the deal. It's the top country. Just let the list be what it is for right now. Here's the deal.
Well, I was trying to defend Dolly, by the way. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Okay, because she won at 17.
Go ahead. Say the
top 10. Johnny Cash, George Strait, Waylon Jennings, George Jones, and Merle Haggard. There's your top 5.
I mean, Willie Nelson was number 6.
Right. Followed by Sarah Evans.
Yeah, that's the
Carrie
thing.
Underwood.
Yep.
Garth Brooks and Tim McGraw.
We're walking all over each other, Curt.
Sorry about that. I'm in Florida. I apologize. So the thing is, like on this list, Sarah Evans is actually a great, phenomenal singer. And I'd say Carrie Underwood has got a great voice as well. So this is basically, but this was just, I think there were 9,000 people who voted on this. So, I mean, maybe the question was just put, who's the greatest country singer of all time? And they said this person. So if it's based on like influence, then certainly, yeah, you could say Merle Haggard and Waylon Jennings and whatnot. But they're just, in general, that this is the list. And that's why Dolly Parton, by the way, was the number 1 person on the all-time female country singers list.
Which makes 0 sense that Sarah Evans and Carrie Underwood were
in the top 10. And yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, what's the other country news? Tell us the other country news.
Oh, Chris Stapleton. We love Chris Stapleton. Very talented guy. He is making his Daytona 500 debut, but he's not going to be a driver. Chris Stapleton, his whiskey brand, Traveler Whiskey, which now I have to try, by the way. I didn't know he had a whiskey brand. He's getting together with Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s JR Motorsports. They are going to have maybe the coolest race car ever. That's what they're doing, designing it. It'll be a JR Motorsports' first ever entry in the Cup Series, debuting at the Daytona 500. That's like NASCAR's biggest race, kind of a big deal here. And they asked Chris what he thought about it. He said, "I'm honored to be part of this historic moment. Excited to see Justin," that's Justin Allgaier. He is excited to see Justin race the number 40 Traveler Whiskey Chevrolet in Daytona. So look for that car. Maybe it'll cross the finish line first. The checkered flag.
We can only hope. Okay.
Number 40.
We asked the
Time for the question?
Yep.
Okay.
We asked the question, how do you spoil your pet, or what's the most outrageous thing you've done for them?
Delivered.
Steve said the list is simply too long, and Bree agreed. Like, they do so many things.
I'm trying to think before how, we all spoil our pet in in very similar ways for a lot of people. And I'm trying to think what there's anything specifically that we spoil our pets with. It's maybe a little bit out there. I'm just going to say thousands and thousands of treats. I think that's what we have.
Yeah, I don't really have too much either. Like, I'll go to, the local Bothell pet and feed store.
Right.
Because we like to support local, and they have some like of those kind of junkyard bones, or like bigger.
Oh,
and
yeah.
have marrow in them. Like, they're not cheap. So that's
Wait a
probably
minute.
how we spoil Sailor.
Also, Bella has the option of sleeping under the covers with Dana.
What?
How's that? Is that spoiled?
Oh my God. That is a whole new level of letting the dog sleep on the bed.
Well, she'll come over sometimes and just sit there and stare at you from, 3 inches away and sort of paw at the blankets. It's like, okay, you can come under.
Let's get to some of these other answers. Marilyn said our last dog, Bubba, we would cook a large T-bone steak for his birthday. All 12 beautiful years. He spoiled us every day of his life. Oh, that's nice.
That's good old Bubba. Amanda, she's talking about Miss Ellie as the dog. I guess this is her husband Dan started giving her treats for dessert if she finished her dinner. And then if he forgets to ask her after, "Did you finish your dinner?" she will come over to him, tap on his foot with a little paw, kind of saying, "Hey, buddy, I thought you forgot something." And then guess what?
Oh my
He
God.
acknowledges her, and then she goes to the place we keep the treats and sits and stares until he responds. I love that. And the look they get on their face is like, come on, man, really?
Yeah.
I like that one.
Laurel said, I'm sure Gizmo doesn't feel like I'm spoiling him, but we were having to keep a cone on his head this weekend because they did it for his health.
The cone of shame.
We spend a lot of money on our dog's health for sure.
But Gizmo gets to go with Laurel and family to the sports lodge in Mill Creek, so he gets spoiled there with treats from our friend Jill.
Nancy said we give our rescue dog Wilbert about 5,000 belly rubs a day.
It's a lot of belly rubs. A lot of belly rubs. Corey has a list here of how she spoils, how they spoil their dogs. Healthy homemade foods and snacks, carry her everywhere. She sleeps under the covers. There you go. Also gets neck, back, and shoulder massages. I cover her with the umbrella when it's raining. If she sits in my spot in the couch, I will sit on the floor.
She does spoil her dogs. I know, Corey. She definitely spoils her dogs.
Okay.
Jackie, not my roommate, Jackie, different Jackie. Spa day at the groomers and steak dinner for his birthday. Wow.
And it looks like Sonia, she has a cat that she doesn't want to let the cat outside, but she created this thing. She has a mesh tent with a mesh tube that attaches to the tent. So I think she sets that outside in the back, patio area. And then she bought one of those mesh screen doorway things, that you can go through in the summertime instead of like a screen door. It's just a mesh thing. So now apparently it looks like the cat can go through the mesh tube inside, attached to the mesh tent outside without actually going outside and having a chance to run away.
Here's the thing. Isn't that called a catio?
I like it. I don't know if that's called a cat. It is now. I'm sure the cat's like, yeah, I'm going to go out in the catio now.
Our friend Miriam, who has 4 cats, designed and put together a catio for her cats where they can go outside and play on the whole thing it's nuts.
Is it enclosed somehow so they can't leave?
Yeah, the whole thing's enclosed. Yeah.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Share the way that you spoil your animals. We'd love to hear about it still, certainly.
All right. The top top rules that, oh no, what do we want to do? I think we wanted just to go straight to the when it's too cold to walk your dog, right?
Oh yeah, okay. We'll come back to that one then.
Yeah, well, let's come back to it. Let's just, since we're on pets, when is it too
Yes.
cold to walk your dog? It varies for each dog breed because, some dogs are, bred for cold weather.
Right.
And it depends on their age and their health status, of course. It's like humans, really. It depends on all those things for
Pretty
us
much.
too. Um,
I was surprised to hear this, that it says dogs, smaller breeds and short hair breeds can start feeling cold at temperatures under 45 degrees Fahrenheit. That sounds to me like that's, you're not going to walk the dog when it's 45 degrees outside, or you have to put a coat on them.
well, you might want to put a little coat or sweater on them. You just have to make
Yeah.
sure. That's one of the things they recommend doing, as long as it fits okay and doesn't bug them. But here's the thing, extreme caution should be used when the temperatures are reaching below 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, that's too cold.
Th-
That's too cold.
Here's the other thing. There's actually a dog walk temperature chart that you can Google and see, based on your breed or the size of your dog. They're
Hmm.
just saying, be aware of, what your dog's showing you, if they're
Right.
shivering and lethargic and their body temperature is decreasing. If it's left untreated, that's hypothermia. And if it's left untreated, it can be fatal.
Right.
And,
Because you're,
go ahead.
I was going to say, your little guys, they're just excited to go on a walk. They can't tell you, oh, guess what? I'm freezing now, or I need to go back inside, or, just like in the summertime, when the sidewalks get so hot and their paws can get damaged that way, the same type of thing. So they're a few of the hints here were like to keep the walks shorter in colder temperatures, and to, like you said, dress your dog appropriately is a couple of them.
Choose the right time of the day, the warmest part of the day if possible. Avoid ice because, well, it can be slippery for you and the dog, but also it's really bad for their paws.
Right.
Check their paws for snow and ice and clear it out, and salt too, because the salt, when people lay salt down on the asphalt when it's
Right.
icy, and then keep them dry. That's
Yep.
it. Keep them
Simple. I
dry.
mean, my dogs have come in from snowstorms, and they love it. Of course, they love going out in the snow.
Yeah.
But yeah, their paws get little ice chunks and stuff in it. So just things to think about when you're taking your little, well, not your kid, yeah, your little one out for a walk when it's a little bit colder
Yep.
temperatures outside.
All right, let's go back to this top work rules. This is a good one. The top work rule young people are willing to break.
Mm-hmm. Because this sounds like it would be great to have a boss who's a younger person. Based on this, someone asked 2,000 employees under the age of 35 to name the work rules that they're willing to break. Okay, so and at least 10% responded yes to all of these. Go ahead, Jen.
So ducking out of work early, calling in sick because you want a day off.
Just to jump in here, it's a third of young people said both of those. I have no issue with ducking out of work early or calling in sick for just a day off.
Showing up late. Oh, and quiet quitting. Have you heard of this before? Quiet quitting?
I have, and it'd be frustrating if you. I mean, yeah, if you're the manager, the owner, or whatever, it's like, oh yeah, they're not even trying anymore.
It's
What's going
putting
on?
minimal effort in.
Mhm.
Using AI to complete tasks. Now, here's the thing with that though. The AI is designed to complete tasks more efficiently for you. So you're getting, to me, they're just being smart and efficient with their time and resources. Why
Right.
wouldn't you use AI?
I
I don't know what's wrong with
I
that.
don't, I don't know.
Um, Taking naps when working from home.
Well,
Claiming
that's only obvious.
claiming you worked more hours than you really did, and finally, using company tools or software for other freelance work or personal reasons. There you go.
I don't know that that's even a young person thing only. I think that that's, a lot of people you could ask of any age. Yeah, well, you're on company time. Are you just doing company things, or maybe
Well, I
doing
think
some
that
shopping?
remember when we talked about this, Kurt, that almost like a majority of people have a side hustle.
Hmm.
So they're having to, so I think that people, when they have like a little extra time, they might log on to whatever it is they're doing to finish up some work on their break, but
So the side hustle
they're using
is
company resources.
right. Side hustle is not always just on the side. That's the thing. Sometimes it's a daily thing. And still, why not? Why not? Oh, there we have our dubstep music again. because I like it. All right.
We have our question of the day that we always ask. And today's question of the day, if you could take a crash course in anything right now, what would it be? I know my answer right off. When we talked about what question are we going to ask, I'm like, I have my answer. I know this.
What's your crash course?
You want my crash course right now? AI.
Oh, okay. You're going to save it for tomorrow.
AI. No, I'm not saving it. AI. I would
take learning about AI.
Yep. I would take a crash course on how I can integrate AI into my life to make me more efficient.
You know what? You could probably use AI to do that crash course for you. I'm just saying. I think mine would be because I am, after all these years of playing guitar and drums and stuff, I decided to learn piano or keyboard. So that would be my crash course right now.
Well, now you have our answers and we want yours. We're going to post it on Facebook or you can comment on the platform that you're watching right now or listening right now. But we'd love your feedback on that. What crash course would you take right now? If it could be anything, what would it be?
Love to hear it. Can't wait for that one. And I should point out again that tomorrow and Wednesday, Jen, you've got surprise guests coming in so I can go be lazy with my wife.
Well, you wanted a couple true vacation days with your wife, Dana, so that you could go, not have to worry about getting up early and doing the show and all that. So,
well, that's when we're going to Everglade City to check out this mystery restaurant.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get Cam, our favorite bartender at Crowbar, to do it. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this off, though, because when I told him last night that you were going to be gone and he could fill in because he's been wanting to fill in, he's like, okay. I'm like, okay, we record early. So he's like, okay, well, I'll be available as early as 9 a.m. And I'm like, Curt, we'll record our show at 4:30. He's like, well, 9 a.m. is bartender early.
He's right about that.
So I don't know if it's going to work.
Maybe Cam tomorrow.
If it is, then we will, we might post it late. So, but hang in there because we will have an episode for you.
And then Wednesday. People are excited about this because Pat, your boyfriend Pat, has filled in before and he does a solid job.
He does a good job. I know. That's what I told him. I'm like, honey, he's going to do it before he leaves for his shift for work, his 24-hour shift at work. So I'm like, good man. Thank you so much. We'd love to have you on. So that's going to be Wednesdays filling. And then Curt will be back Thursday, Friday. So stick with us. Go.
Yes. Thank you very much for sticking with us every single day. And as usual, like, follow, subscribe, whatever you want to do. It'd be a big help for the Curt and Jen podcast. So thank you for that in advance.
Where's our closing music, Curt?
You want the closing music? Okay, here's closing music for you.
All right. We hope you have a great start to your week. Happy Monday. Make good choices, find joy, find kindness, and find ways to laugh.